Hey! This is a hemorrhoid.
All right, so what do we have here?
We have a 2016 Mercedes E400. Has the M276 twin turbo 3-liter. Has PCV, oil separator and centrifuge. Diagnosed by Mercedes as being clogged, causing an oil leak on my intercooler that sits down in that crevasse. You get to take all the brackets off. Camshaft back there. That goes into your arm to get the last bracket off. And we still have to take off the little centrifuge thing back here that's on the other cam. We're gonna learn. This whole thing was a learning process.
How's it looking down there?
I just camshaft shoved in my fucking forearm.
The last bracket. Way down there. So here are most of the things we had to take off. We have the intercooler, which you can see was pushing a little bit of oil out.
A little bit. A lot of it.
ECU, so the intake parts. And a lot of this stuff was around the high pressure fuel pump, bracket, insulation. Obviously the charge pipes come off of the intercooler. The high pressure fuel pump comes off because that goes right here on the cam. And then you have just a ton of brackets back here that are just in the way. This one here was the last one that had to be loosened. It's not removed, so we could pull the whole centrifuge thing out. So this is the centrifuge thingy.
Oil drip pan, technically.
Oh, yep, that's it. So you have that one little bolt right in the middle.
E10.
E10, and then it pulls right out of that spot. I guess it goes on the cam there. It's a little drip pan thing. The bolt that goes into the cam is torqued to 53 inch-pounds plus 90 degrees. Fishing the new PCV valve through. Got a condom on the end here. Never be too protected.
Always wear your protection, kids. Oh yeah, like a fucking glove.
We'll lube up the seals a little bit. So the 4 bolts on the back of this guy are 53 inch-pounds plus 90 degrees, and the 2 on this
9 Newton meters or 80 inch-pounds.
So now we gotta fish this guy back in. So the one end goes over here under the coolant reservoir, and then the other 2 pop in there. All right, so this little bracket back here with that connector on it, right down there on the driver's side head is 1 bolt, and then straight down facing up on the block, I guess, is the second one. Okay, so we got the tappet for the high pressure fuel pump, soak in some oil, the new one. So that's gonna go in the housing.
I replaced the gasket.
The pump itself mounts here, and then this is where the cam slides into, and the tappet goes in there. This gasket tends to leak, so that is replaced.
I ordered the wrong gasket, so that one's not getting replaced, but that is the cam solenoid O-ring.
It wasn't leaking, so should be all right. Oh yeah.
Like a glove.
So the high pressure fuel pump housing bolts, 1, 2, and then 2 under here, are torqued to 80 inch-pounds. Forgot to mention there was a zip tie on this gray sheathing right there, which attaches to that middle bracket. There's actually a clip on it that could come off. You couldn't see it, so we ended up cutting the old zip tie and just putting a new one through there. And then this harness has a little bracket here, so we're just trying to get these screws back in. So there's 1 back here and then 1 here. Okay, so we skipped on recording a few steps here, but get your intake on, and that's with your wiring harness up still. Torque all your bolts, so that's 80 inch-pounds. Then we flip the wiring harness back down. So we had it flipped over like this. It was a little tricky to get it back over. This bundle of wires here was zip tied together. If you undo those, it'll give you some more slack to let the front of the wire harness come up, and then we were able to flip it back over.
The intercooler bolt is a nightmare.
This one right there. Terrible, terrible time. So we ended up getting it from like right next to the frame and on the outside of the charge pipe with this 1/4 inch swivel head adapter to our torque socket. That seemed like really the only way to actually be able to tighten it because there's just no room down there. There's a clip on the top side of each charge pipe with the bolt over here. So that just holds the top on. The bottom side of the charge pipe. So they have those like rubber couplers in the hose clamps. A tip for when you pull the intercooler off is this is a little clip. So it's like an L kind of. So you have to push it up here, like with a flathead or something. And then the whole bottom of the intercooler will rotate out, obviously with your charge pipes off. But to reinstall, you just simply push it in and it clips back in by itself. The coolant lines we had clamped off with the tools that we will be making. But those are nice because we lost space basically no coolant, just whatever was in the intercooler itself. Another tip, there is a connector on the bottom of this throttle body straight underneath here. You can only get it out with the intercooler out. And so you take the intercooler out, take the rubber adapter off here, and then you can get enough room to disconnect it. And it's fed through behind the valve, so you can kind of pull it out then when this is all out of the way. So you want to make sure you get that back on before you put your intercooler back in. Snap all of your lines back in. This ended up, well, I tore it, trying to get it off here because we replaced this line, this vac line too. So this elbow that got torn, this replacement from Advanced Auto worked perfectly. 47029, basically a 3/8 inch rubber PCV elbow. So now pretty much all that's left is to reconnect all of our connectors that we labeled, then the ECU and the top parts of the intake. Got him! 10 o'clock at night. We were almost done about 4 hours ago. So I got everything, pretty much all the wiring back together. Went to connect the ECU and the main wiring harnesses. Realized that this one down here, this silver one, which comes from here, it goes straight down. It was like 4 inches too short. Spent a lot of time trying to figure out why. So on the back side of the high pressure fuel pump, there's that foam piece, this guy. It's really tight where the silver wiring harness goes down in the middle. So it seems like the foam had it pinched or something. And so the wiring is supposed to go behind the foam. There's a groove in there. And then in that groove is a slot hole. That slot is where one of the little clips, one of these wire clips here, one of those is on the back side. So anyway, you got to make sure that wire is back when you put your foam piece on. Otherwise it'll get pinched and you won't have enough length. Definitely check that before you put all this stuff back together. Any final thoughts? It's finished up. How would you rate this on a fun scale and difficulty?
Negative 100 on the fun scale. And I would say probably 9 out of 10 on the difficulty scale. There's just a lot of hard bolts to get to and tight spaces. I mean, the wiring harness was easy to take on and off. I think the hardest part was really getting to the back of the engine because it's so tight back there. And that crash plate on the high pressure fuel pump was a nightmare. And the charge pipe bolt.
Yeah, definitely need your special setup for that. Proper swivel head, but it's all back together.
Took it for a spirited test drive, waiting for it to cool down, add some more coolant.